The Find Lab is a Case Western Reserve University Resource Center funded by the National Institutes of Health to promote full inclusion of persons with disabilities in research.
Among the many diverse demographic groups that make up the general population, almost 2 out of every 10 people have disabilities. In some groups, such as senior citizens or people diagnosed with diabetes, the percentage is even larger. Groups of children and teens can also include individuals with disabilities, even among school-aged children. Because people with disabilities are a normal part of every population, failing to include them in scientific research means using a biased sample, even if the exclusion was unintentional. Planning for the inclusion of persons with disabilities can give researchers a more representative sample. This, in turn, can increase the reach, effectiveness, adoption, and implementation of findings.
When any minority is not included in the research, there's no way of knowing whether or how the research applies to that specific group. For example, when we began routinely including women and minorities in research, our knowledge about them increased dramatically. In the same way, we can expect that inclusion of people with disabilities will increase the rate of discovery of treatments and self-management techniques known to be effective for specific disability groups.
Ethically, the exclusion of people with disabilities from mainstream healthcare research cannot be considered just. In accordance with the Belmont Report, the principle of justice requires that benefits be distributed fairly and not be denied without a good reason.
Planned exclusion may be justified only if there's a compelling scientific reason for that exclusion. For example, persons with low vision due to active diabetic retinopathy may be excluded from a study of anticoagulants, which presents high risk of harm from retinal bleeding and further vision loss.
The Find Lab can provide researchers with the tools and techniques they need to plan their research to include persons with disabilities. The Find Lab can help design recruitment methods to reach people with visual and hearing impairment, design a consent process to provide full information to individuals who cannot see or read a printed consent form, use a video relay system to conduct telephone interviews with deaf persons in your study. Adapt existing data collection and measurement approaches for persons with disabilities. Prepare grant proposals to explicitly include people with disabilities. Rent equipment and arrange services that facilitate inclusion of people with disabilities.
These and other Find Lab services can help researchers include a portion of the population that has often been excluded in the past. The knowledge gained from including persons with disabilities will allow researchers to have a more complete understanding of all people.